When the Council declared that Earth no longer met the standards of unity and discipline required for membership, the chamber fell silent. Delegates from hundreds of worlds watched as the human envoy, a calm man named Alan, stood without protest. The Council speaker announced that Earth had failed to submit to new regulations, had refused to surrender its independent defense projects, and therefore would be expelled. Many worlds believed humanity would panic. Others believed it would collapse without support. Most believed it would fade into insignificance. Alan simply bowed. He gathered the documents he had brought and turned to leave the chamber. He spoke only one sentence before the doors closed behind him. "We will stand on our own." Most of the delegates laughed. A few worried. A smaller number wondered what would happen if the species known for relentless innovation and uncompromising resolve decided to build without oversight. None of them were prepared for the truth. Humanity did not simply stand on its own. It rose. Alan traveled home on a modest diplomatic transport. The silence of space greeted him, and he spent the journey reviewing what the Council had demanded. They wanted full access to Terran defense grids. They wanted human warships to be limited. They wanted new research to be shared without restriction. Alan knew humanity would never accept such terms. Earth had grown through hardship. It had survived countless crises. It would not kneel under a distant authority. When Alan returned, he found every world of the Terran sphere waiting. Leaders, scientists, engineers, and citizens gathered in a global broadcast. He delivered the news without sorrow and without anger. Earth has been banished. We are no longer bound by their limits. We will decide our own future. What followed was not panic. It was unity, sharper and stronger than any the Council had ever demanded. For the first time in generations, every faction and region placed their differences aside. The banishment was not seen as punishment. It was seen as a push toward destiny. The Terran High Assembly convened within hours. Alan was appointed as the prime envoy of humanity, entrusted to guide Earth in diplomacy, while others built the foundation for independence. The Assembly declared that if the Council no longer wanted them, humanity would pursue a future shaped solely by its own will. Earth's brightest minds gathered. Strategic councils formed. Resource networks were reorganized. Lunar shipyards expanded. The orbital ring increased manufacturing by a factor that stunned even its designers. Construction zones lit every sky across the Terran sphere. Fragmented sectors became united systems. The first phase of the Terran Independence Plan was drafted within a week. Phase 1 would reshape everything. The goal was not a fleet, but an entire interstellar framework. Humanity would build a network capable of defending itself, expanding its reach, and establishing alliances that were not dependent on the Council. The first set of ships rolled out within months. Hulls of silver and black, sharp and angular, powered by reactors that the Council had never approved. Engines that bent gravity more efficiently than anything approved by galactic regulation. Weapons that drew on newly developed energy cycling systems. These vessels were not built to intimidate. They were built to survive. Each ship bore only one emblem, a rising star above a curved arc. It was not a symbol of Earth. It was a symbol of something larger that the Terran Star Empire got. The name was chosen with caution. Humanity was not seeking domination. It sought independence and unity across its own systems. It was an empire built on cooperation, structured to prevent the political fragmentation that had weakened Earth's earlier efforts. It was an empire not of tyranny, but of purpose. Other species watched with growing concern. Traders reported massive construction zones around Mars. Scouts claimed they saw titanic structures forming near Jupiter. Rumors spread that Earth was creating its own hyperlane network. The Council dismissed the reports at first. They had always seen humans as ambitious but limited. They believed humanity lacked the scale needed for empire building. That belief vanished when the Terran signal broadcast across all known channels. A massive fleet appeared on every monitor. Hundreds of cruisers, dozens of capital carriers, and a colossal flagship that dwarfed the vessels of every Council navy. Alan's voice followed. "We seek no conflict. We seek no throne. You expelled us. We accept your decision. We now walk a new path." The Council reacted with disbelief. Many worlds began to worry. All of this had happened in less than 5 years. No species had ever built so rapidly. The boldest among the Council claimed the footage was false. That bravado faded when Terran ships arrived at neutral trading rims, sleek and unmistakable. Trade convoys were escorted. Pirate fleets that had resisted Council patrols for years found themselves surrounded by Terran cruisers. Those pirates surrendered without a shot fired. Within a month, the Terran Star Empire had become the most reliable guardian of outer routes. For the first time, smaller species turned to Earth for protection. They sent envoys, not to plead, but to request partnership. Humans accepted. Each new ally strengthened the Empire's reach. Soon, entire sectors voluntarily joined the Terran network, seeking stability, fair trade, and defense. This quiet expansion alarmed the Council. They feared what would happen when an empire built by humans reached maturity. The Council called an emergency session. Some demanded restrictions. Others demanded confrontation. A few argued that the banishment had been a mistake. In that session, the Speaker called for another vote. A proposal was set forth. Should we demand the dissolution of the Terran Star Empire? The vote failed. Too many delegates had already seen the impact of Terran aid. Too many worlds had traded with Earth and profited. Too many believed conflict with humanity would lead to disaster. But unity within the Council was fragile. One faction, known for its strict adherence to hierarchy and superiority, declared that humanity was a threat to the balance of the galaxy. They launched a fleet toward neutral space, claiming they wished to inspect Terran assets. The Terran Empire detected the movement long before the Council acknowledged it. Alan stood again before the gathered assembly. His voice was calm. "Do not seek war, but we will not be examined like specimens. Our sovereignty is not negotiable." The Terran Empire moved its fleets, not to strike, but to intercept. When both forces met, space lit with thousands of signatures. The Council faction demanded boarding access. Terran commanders refused. The standoff grew tense. To avoid battle, Alan volunteered to open a diplomatic channel. He spoke directly to the Council faction commanders, reminding them of treaties established before the banishment. He offered peaceful solutions. He displayed the recorded histories of the Empire's actions, which showed no conquest, no forced expansion. The commanders ignored him and advanced. The Terran Empire responded with precision. A single ship activated its gravity well projector. It locked every Council vessel in place. Engines froze. Weapons shut down. Not a single shot was fired. The Council fleet was rendered helpless without casualties. The standoff ended with a message from Alan. Do not mistake restraint for weakness. News of this incident reached every world. It spread faster than any Council announcement. Species that had once feared humanity now saw them as a power that chose discipline over destruction. One by one, independent systems aligned themselves with Earth, that the Terran Empire expanded not through conquest, but through respect. It built new stations. It created stable routes. It established academies that trained not only humans, but members of every species who joined. Technology spread. Prosperity followed. Within 20 years, the Terran Star Empire spanned hundreds of systems. It rivaled the Council in population and surpassed it in influence. Its fleets were unmatched. Its diplomacy was firm but fair. Its people were united by vision rather than fear. Eventually, the council requested a meeting. Not a demand, a request. They hoped to negotiate a stable coexistence. The meeting was held in a neutral ring station. Delegates from the council waited nervously as Alan arrived. He was older now. His hair was silver. His posture remained straight. The symbol of the rising star was etched on the collar of his jacket. The speaker offered formal apologies. He spoke of past mistakes. He acknowledged that banishing Earth had been an error born from fear and arrogance. When he finished, the chamber fell quiet. Alan spoke with measured words. You expelled us. You believed we would fall. Instead, we rose because we had no choice. We built not just a fleet, but an empire shaped by the values you dismissed. Strength without tyranny. Unity without oppression. Progress without conquest. We hold no anger. We hold no desire for revenge. But we will never again be subject to another's authority. The speaker asked the final question. What? Does Earth seek now? Alan answered without hesitation. A galaxy where every world can stand on its own. A galaxy where no council dictates the future of another. A galaxy where cooperation is chosen, not enforced. The council voted to recognize the Terran Star Empire as an equal power. Treaties were signed. Borders were respected. Two great bodies coexisted, shaping the future together. Humanity had been banished. Instead of falling, it built something greater. Not a rebellion, not a crusade. A civilization that stood as proof of what a united and determined people could achieve when, freed from old constraints, the empire continued to grow. Its ships explored deeper regions. Its citizens forged